Hey now. It's TJ, and today is another NEWSJACK City day. Running a little bit behind because I was having some tech difficulties because we have a wonderful guest that I can't wait to share with you because she actually initiated a NEWSJACK that got booked. I love it. So let's make sure y'all know the drill. I need to know that you can see and hear me. I need to know that you can, so type in the chat to make sure audio is good and I'm broadcasting to the world. So I just want to make sure somebody say something to me. Somebody say something to me like in the chat. But if not, I'm going to keep it pushing and hopefully somebody will let me know if you can't hear me. So I am TJ Mercer. I am known as the walking exclamation point, but I'm also the chief noise maker of Media Mavericks Academy. And I teach authors, experts, coaches, entrepreneurs how to book themselves in the media without a publicist and without being a celebrity. Okay, so I'm seeing, maybe it's just a big delay because I'm seeing now the chat come alive. And I think for the first time today, we are actually live on LinkedIn. So if you're here from LinkedIn, welcome. I'm a little different maybe than what you maybe are used to for LinkedIn because I feel like LinkedIn is all very corporate and I ain't never worked a day in my life in corporate. But I'm good at what I do simply because I spent nearly 30 years, going on 30 years at this point, working on some of the biggest TV shows and films in the game. And on Tuesdays, I like to hit headline hooks that will get you booked because if you don't know, newsjacking is the one thing that can get you booked like that. Like you can be pitching, get booked the same day, and be on TV either later that day or the next day. So if you don't know fully what newsjacking is, be sure to pop over to newsjackthat.com and get the free guide that will break it all down for you. All right, so let's get to some headlines. I'm only going to do a few today because I want to get to our guest. So not as many as I normally do. Okay, this is the right window. Okay. So I caught this earlier today. So what's Barbiecore? What to know about one of summer's brightest fashion trends. So the movie Barbie, which is going to be a live action film, is coming out this year, right? And so many things are happening with Barbie. And so I also talked to you a few weeks ago. I'm always telling you, like, movies, TV shows, all of that, you can leverage the heck out of it. But I really thought about this for my more fashionistas because it's talking about the Barbie trend in fashion for the summer. And you know that pink is a hot color. Now, I've always been a fan of hot pinks and purples and yellow, but it's coming alive this summer with, you know, the Barbie. So anything that you can do to latch on to this summer's hit, you know, even make sure you go see the film if this may be in your arena to see how they handle it, or at least watch the trailer to see if it's something that you may need to go watch so you can newsjack it. But if you are a fashionista stylist, you can talk about, you know, what's hot this season, show several pieces in pink. How do you choose the right pink? How do you choose the stuff that's flattering for your body type? There's all different angles that you can come from with this newsjack. And then, like I said, there's marketing that's going to be coming up around Barbie. So pay attention to the things that are now going to be released more the closer we get to the movie's release date. I forget what it is. And then Margot Robbie is a hot, you know, commodity right now. And so, you know, watch what she's up to and things like that. All right. Then this is another catch to with Barbie, latch onto Barbie. So Jane Goodall, the dedicated conservationist, has her own Barbie doll that they're doing, and Mattel is releasing in their inspiring women series. So what you could do is go and look at those women, see what they are releasing. NEWSJACK that angle to talk about, hey Madison, to talk about, the contributions these women have made. What is it special about them that we can all learn from? But again, Barbie's gonna be hot this summer for kids. Like, if you are a parenting or kid expert, make sure you keep an eye out on what's going on so you can leverage that. Because remember, I've taught you that media loves kids and the elderly. We want to protect them. We want to love on them. We want to know how best practices with raising them and all of that kind of good stuff. So keep your eye out on that. Okay, I don't know I don't really know about this NEWSJACK. I just thought it was fascinating. So, cow cuddling helps people struggling with depression feel hope and connection. So, apparently, there's this new trend that there's a nonprofit don't pay attention to the video because it's moved on past the story I had. But apparently, there's this rescue farm is what they called it. There's a rescue farm somewhere in Cali, and people are going and just cuddling with the cows, and it seems to be making them feel better. Listen, as a person who has had her own bout with depression, I don't care what it is that's going to get you out of that depression. You could hug a tree for all I care, long as it's serving you and helping you get better. So, of course, I'm thinking, initially, obviously, I'm thinking about the therapists in our groups, the counselors, the depression experts of how, the different ways that people cope with depression. If you think this is absurd, you can pitch that too, for sure. I mean, whatever side of the coin you are on when it comes to this, I want you to pitch it. I don't have a feeling one way or the other about it. I just thought it was fascinating and was like, oh, well, I would have never thought about that. Just like, it came out that people were suggesting I go into doing it, but people are paying cuddlers, professional cuddlers, where you just lay there and cuddle with people. So, and if you're new to me, you may not know why people suggesting I do that, because I'm the world's greatest hugger, and I do love hugging and cuddling with people, but people I know mostly. So, yeah, I do with what you wish. We've had things that I've put out there, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm talking about this, and then a few weeks later, somebody is telling me they newsjacked it. So that was one of those things that I was just like, this is kind of different, but we're going to talk about it. And then, what is this? Why did I pull this? Oh, I pulled this just because I wanted to see what she was saying. That wasn't supposed to be there. I wanted to hear okay, well, let me use this as a teachable moment. So, how I've always, taught about, like, when you newsjacking, you're going to vet, and more vet. If you read a quote, if you read a headline, listen to it in context to make sure that you are in agreement with what they said or how they said it, and that some people, the media is not running with it. I can totally see. I didn't get a chance to listen to this. Okay. I didn't get a chance to listen because I was trying to line up the headlines, but I can totally see conservative media like Fox News pulling this and running with that. Jill Biden apologized after a offensive remark to Latinos, comparing them to tacos. I can see how they can run with that as a headline and leverage that. But if you're going to newsjack it, you have to actually watch this for yourself. Listen to it for yourself. Because remember, I've told you that the liberal media would often take out of context some of the things that Trump was saying. Now, some of it he really said, but the other parts, it was just like, okay, I don't think he really meant that way. But I just want to make sure. Love to wrote her speech had the Latino people up in arms. Okay, so I didn't see any of this. I just saw the headline that she apologized, and I was going to try to go listen to what did she actually say that required an apology. But I wanted to now use this as a teachable moment for you guys, that I'm not speaking on this because I didn't listen to it. I didn't hear it for myself. That's what I need you guys to make sure you do whenever you newsjack. All right. So then let me see. Oh, so remember we always talk about how Brad Pitt, no, we don't always talk about Brad Pitt, how, anytime celebrities seem to be experiencing the same things that we are experiencing and making them relatable. Well, Brad Pitt defends face blindness condition, prosopagnosia. Okay. Yeah, that. Nobody believes me. Now, the reason why this got on my radar is because my friend Sherry shared this and said she also suffers from this condition, and people have always thought that she was just acting funny. Now, being that she is my real life friend, I've known her for 20 something years, I can tell you Sherry is not good with faces. Sherry can't even barely remember what she said to you yesterday. She'll call me excited about something, and I'm like, Sherry, we talked about this 2 days ago, honey. Remember we prayed? She's like, oh my God, we sure did. So this is a real thing, because I can tell you, Sherry honestly has that problem. So if you are a medical doctor, I would suggest you explain this, maybe pitch this and explain it. Talk about how many of the population actually suffers from it, how you can deal with it. Are there things that you can do to help you better remember folks' faces? And just get out there and talk about that. There are cases where this is absolutely the case for some people. This the dermatologist, I caught this on CBS Morning. So the dermatologist diversity problems, and it was talking about the fact that less than 3% of dermatologists are Black, and so that creates issues where someone does not understand. This is a good one for medical pros. Yes, Madison. So where someone doesn't necessarily understand darker skin. Like even in the tattoo world, I was following this TikTok drama for a second or was it Instagram? A tattoo artist refusing. Well, a Black man inquired whether or not he could. Can he show some? That's what it was. Can he show some of his art on darker skin? Because apparently, like his whole IG was lighter skin, but this person really liked his work, but he wanted to see how he handles darker skin. And the guy was like, well, thank you for the request, but I can tell that we're not a good fit for each other simply by you asking me that question. And Instagram or TikTok lit into him like, yo, that's a reasonable question, because if you're not used to working with darker skin, it's just like if you're not used to working with darker hair, Black folks' hair, it could be problematic. And so the same thing with this dermatologist issue. So I was thinking from a standpoint of, if you are into the medical field, especially in the dermatologist arena, I would consider pitching markets that have a high Black population and do a segment around specific skin issues that may be diagnosed wrong if they went to a white dermatologist, right? So I remember when I was having problems with my scalp, I went to a white dermatologist, and her solution was, well, you got to wash your hair every day. It's like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Like you don't understand. Yes, Black people, we can't wash our hair every day. It strips the oils out of, so TJ, you are spot on. Martin says, thank you. I don't know which one I was spot on about, but thank you, Martin. But I would definitely look at how you can actually leverage this and start off with, according to CBS Mornings, it was recently reported CBS Morning that there is definitely a diversity issue when it comes to dermatology. And after practicing dermatology for the last 10 years, I can tell you that there are many cases where conditions are misdiagnosed. I would love to come in and talk about some of the conditions that are misdiagnosed on Black skin by white physicians or something like that. All right. Choosing the correct market. Okay, good. We don't not that here. Okay, so that's that one. And okay, so we're ready for our guest. So our guest this week is, let me remove this, add to stream, is the one, the only, the lovely Keandra Ward. And Keandra is, I don't know why I said your name, and Keandra, all dramatic and whatnot. Keandra is an Amazon influencer who happened to be with us or listening in a few weeks ago when I talked about Amazon Prime Day. And Keandra, why don't you tell us what happened?
All right. What had happened was I was listening to you and you said, hey, here's one for Amazon Prime. And I was like, hey, I'm an Amazon influencer. So that night, I pre-scheduled a message to go out. I pre-scheduled my pitch. It went out that morning. I got a response back that afternoon, and I got booked a week later. And the reason why we did it a week later instead of the next day is because it was closer to Prime Day starting so that it could be fresh.
We love that. I love when that happens because people will then believe me when I say you really can. And the only reason why it got pushed out is because they wanted to wait till closer to Prime Day, and that makes more sense. What I don't want to be overlooked is the fact that you put the pitch out that morning. By that afternoon, boom.
Yeah.
That really is, y'all, how fast that it can happen. So don't have me out here wasting my time with these news jacks. Can y'all be like Keandra and actually act on it? And I thought it was so cute because in your message to me, you said hashtag do it afraid or something like that. What did you say?
Move afraid is my motto. It's interesting because you sent the email out and somebody called me and was like, I didn't look at nothing else. I saw hashtag move afraid. Is that you? I was like, yes, it's me. But that's my motto is move afraid. I don't care if I'm scared. I'm still going to move afraid and we'll figure it out later.
Yes. And that really is, I don't know anybody who has not been afraid to put themselves out there on a major platform. But like I always teach my Mavericks, is the only way to get good at media is you gotta do media. So, anything that we do, and actually I was thinking about doing a Facebook Live around that because I'm launching Move-In Day Mafia, and there are certain things that I want in place. I want all my T's crossed and all my I's dotted. And it's like, I want this, I want that, I want this. And I'm like, well, if you can't have that now, you still got to be in action because you can't course correct a blank piece of paper. That you don't have data to course correct a blank page. Something has to be written on the page for you to even see the direction you're going. So, Keandra, what I wanted to do was show them the segment and give some feedback because I did watch the segment. Okay.
I have my notes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
From TVs and smartphones to laptops, major deals are in store for Amazon's Prime Day.
Amazon influencer Keandra Ward joins us now with tips for making the most of Prime Day deals. So welcome back to the show.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
So, okay, yes, there's a lot that we should do before Prime Day.
Absolutely.
Things get crazy that day. They go quickly. So what should we do leading up to Prime Day?
The first thing you need to be is
First of all, you look beautiful. I'm sure this was not planned, that you guys kind of color coordinated with your color scheme. And my only feedback on this is, and you'll notice it through the interview, is you should have switched once you realized where they were going to sit you. I would have preferred that you switch your hair to the other side so that the audience, if you're turning to the side, the audience could still see your face, because we're losing that. But other than that, you looked great. And I like that you did use your hands. You'll see more of that, but you'll notice how your face is obscured. And that's not something you knew going into the station. But one of the things I would have liked you to have asked, okay, where am I sitting? Because then you could see what side the camera's on, and you could have easily flipped your hair or something like that. Okay.
Amazon Prime member.
Right. First things first.
So if you're not an Amazon Prime member, you can actually sign up for a 30-day free trial membership and still be able to participate in the Amazon Prime Day.
Great balance of you talking to them and kind of glancing at the camera. That was a great balance.
Nice. Okay.
And then if you're a student, you get Amazon Prime for 6 months for free.
Oh,
Free. Wow. And then
so I like that little moment of, you're showing your personality in there. Like, you're just not dispensing information, but yeah, for free. Yeah, you heard me. Free. I like that.
after that, it's 50% off.
Okay.
So there's no reason why you can't enjoy Amazon Prime.
Right.
Okay, I like that. So what's your second tip? What's another tip?
The
we need to do?
second tip would be to definitely talk to Alexa. If you have an Alexa, call your girl. I tell her.
Call your girl.
Call your
I love that. I like that flow, that playfulness there.
girl. Tell her, Alexa, keep me updated on
Wait, I think I'm gonna mute you, Keandra, so we're not having as much feedback. So let me see. Okay, yeah, you muted yourself. Okay, so let me go back to the screen.
Okay,
And she'll keep you updated.
I would have never thought of that.
Right.
Okay.
She'll keep you updated on deals and everything.
Okay, let's get to tip number 3. Okay.
All right.
Watch
So
this deal.
the watch the deal is the deal notifier. So on Prime Day, the deals go by really fast, but you can kind of pre-see what deals are coming up. So there'll be a yellow tab. It's usually about yellow, and it says watch this deal. You click on that, and then it'll notify you. So if you're at work and you can't physically watch them, it'll alert you when that deal for that TV or that new chair that you want comes out.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are really working that day. What day is it? July 12th?
Productivity goes down a little bit on it, right?
Right.
Okay, so then you have another tip for us.
Right. So if you have an Amazon cart or you use your Amazon wish list, pack them up. Because what'll happen is the system will see that you have that item, and if it's on sale or has a deal, you'll get an alert about that too.
Okay, so it does update even though it's like in your cart or favorite.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Okay.
The sale.
Okay, so remind me when you come off mute, you don't have to do it now, to ask you about what's this wildlife wearable art. I want to know about that. And 2, did they do the graphics or did you submit these graphics? Those 2 questions I want to know.
The price will update.
Yes, it'll say this is going on sale or this is we have an Amazon deal for this,
Right.
and you can get it. So
Okay.
last year I got this dress. It was on.
I love the dress.
Cute.
It was in my cart.
Yes.
Great idea to wear something to demonstrate the point you're making. Very well done. Well done. Well done. Well done.
The good thing about like Amazon is you can click buy now, right?
Yes,
You don't have to go through all the steps or process.
Absolutely.
It's in your cart, just buy now. You get it.
It's my cart. I'm not going to tell y'all how much stuff I have in my cart.
Mine is full too. Mine is full too. I keep it full.
Yeah. Okay. Give us one more tip.
So the last tip is start your shopping today. There's a lot of deals that are already going on right now in preparation.
Okay.
So get on there, look at some of them are up to 60% off.
Okay.
Make sure you get in there. You can't really use some of the tips yet because that's for Amazon Prime Day, but go in there and see like TVs are on sale from, Usually they run about $500, and I've seen them for about $284.
Okay.
I've seen a little boom box that you can take to the beach.
Oh,
It's usually
cool.
about $49. I've seen it for $28 the other day.
Okay.
So catch those deals while they're out there.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Those are great tips.
Absolutely.
I always kind of avoid it because it's like so confusing, but you just kind of simplified it for me. So,
Thank you.
all right. Thanks so much. So Prime Day 2022 is July 12th through Wednesday, July 13th. For more information on Kendra's Amazon store, you can visit KeandraWard.com.
If you've eaten at a McDonald's restaurant in the Tampa area.
Okay. All right. Come back, Keandra.
Ma'am.
Okay, wait. Is it Keandra or Keandra?
Keandra.
Keandra. Okay. So, answer that first question. Like, what was wildlife wearable art? What was that?
Have absolutely no idea.
Okay, so somebody messed up. Okay. Somebody messed up because I was like, what they got to do with Amazon? I kept trying to figure out, like, is she gonna talk about something? Okay, so somebody on their end messed up. And then the second thing, tell me about the graphics.
That was something that we submitted. I didn't know that they were going to have it up there. I had submitted it to her to show her what I would be talking about in the tips that I had. So that was that.
Okay, so always submit thinking they're gonna use it. Okay. And that's, to be honest with you, from a producing standpoint, that's kind of bad on them. It should have been on their graphics, but no, they had a week to do it. I'm like, well, maybe it came down too fast. I just thought that it was out of context with their graphics package. I don't think I've ever seen a news station do that. They always take it and put it on their own graphics. Because that's what made me think there was a typo on one of the second or the third slide. And I am not a grammar snob until it comes to stuff being out on TV. My emails, you're going to find typos because I be typing them fast and I just be moving. But on TV, I go through several checks and balances. Anything that I put out on TV is going to be perfect. Or less. 50 million people we all missed it. Okay. But overall, it was really, really great. I also want to know, did you have more tips
Then those 5? I did.
Okay. So here's one of the things I would have loved to have seen, that you create like a tip sheet of 10.
Okay.
Dispense 5 and tell them you can find more tips for free over at amazontips.com by Keandra or whatever. Not KeandraWard.com. Make a specific landing page for it, so then people will have to opt in to your email list to get the rest, because the point of media is to get them back to your website so that you can continue the dialogue, right? And nurture them, into, investing with you or whatever it is that you want them to do next. But you've got to give them a sample to then get them back over to the website. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
I guess my next question would be, if I pitch one and I've done it, do I continue to pitch? Prime Day is not, of course, it's in tomorrow, but now, I can pitch other things. Should I continue on?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever aspects that you can come up with, about your lane of genius around Amazon, I would go to different markets, and everything. I would also even consider, since you now have a relationship with these people, I would consider doing a weekly or bi-weekly segment on hot Amazon finds.
Okay.
Or how to navigate Amazon, those kind of things that you've seen those segments where people are talking about just hot finds, and who's to say that you can't be that person for them of hot Amazon finds?
Okay. Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for coming on and sharing your experience. And I'm glad you newsjacked and listened. And I want the rest of these people to be like Keandra, okay? All right, baby. So that's it, y'all. That's what I have for this week. And we're going to count it down. If you have not already, taken a peek over at moveindayMafia.org, I want you to do that because we are an army of volunteers that will deploy to HBCU campuses to love on, to take care of the HBCU freshmen that have aged out of foster care. And our first school that we're launching with is Paul Quinn. That's our pilot school this year. And each year we want to expand and grow and, take care of these kids between freshman and graduation years, because less than 3% go to college. So the fact that these babies are going to college, they've already beat the odds. So we want to support them all the way to graduation so that they can fulfill their dreams. All right. So count it down, and any amount helps. Any amount helps. And we got our first $1,000 donation last night, y'all. I'm still over the moon happy about that. And what people are beginning to do is that they have birthdays coming up, and they post it on their social media in lieu of gifts to donate to the Move In Day Mafia initiative. We are a 501c3, so donations are tax deductible. So I appreciate that. We will be needing, we need volunteers. We need everything, because we got to take care of these kids. If we don't, who will? All right. So in 10, 9, thank you, my Emily. 8, 7, 6, 5, and shortly we're going to be posting some social media graphics that for those of you who can be ambassadors to share and be responsible for raising a certain amount of money, because we need a lot of money to pull this off. But my God is a supernatural God, and I know he's going to make sure we have everything we need for these kids. I don't know where I was. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you later. Bye.